My name is Ende. I'm a member of the Space-Time Patrol Unit Schrodinger.
Yeah, right. You watch too much anime.
Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. Today we're talking about Phantom Breaker Omnia. It's not every day a new fighting game gets released, and well, as of the day of me posting this video, Phantom Breaker Omnia is now out on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. So I figured why not, it's a perfect time to make a video just breaking down what exactly is this game. A fighting game, obviously enough, right? But it has some pretty interesting quirks in the gameplay, so let's go over it. Now, as for the genre of fighting game, definitely an anime fighting game, and put a capital A on that anime. As you can tell just by looking at the roster, everyone's got that look, right? So real quick here, let's just walk you through the basics. So first off, it's basically a 4-button game, light, medium, heavy, and also a special button. And it is also an easy inputs game, meaning there's really no motions. Everything's effectively neutral, back in a button, forward in a button, or down in a button. And also, as far as normals go, everything chains into everything pretty easily. Like for special moves, this right here, this is forward in the special button. It's just a projectile shot. That's back in special button. And this is down in special button. And also, all the specials, you can make light or heavy versions as well. All you gotta do is hit light or heavy with the special button. So if you do special, this is forward special by itself. This is the light version of the special, where it becomes a defensive shield instead. This here is back in special. Back light and special is a different arc, so it gives you much more ways to play around with your special moves. Do heavy and special instead, it takes a meter and it becomes basically an EX version of the move, gaining more properties and damage as well. It's all pretty straightforward. Special by itself, no directions, it's basically a armored attack, like a focus attack in Street Fighter 4 or something like that. If you manage to catch the enemy, you can get a big counter hit and force a wall bounce. And special heavy by itself, no directions, is basically your super move. It's different properties for different characters, they all do different things. There's basically effectively a groove system in the game. When you pick a character, there's more than just the character. You have multiple styles. Quick style, Omnia style, named for the new game title, right? And hard style. And all these wildly change how you play the game. So you keep a lot of the basics no matter what. You can move around just fine, run around just fine. Also in this game, running passes through opponents, so that's pretty interesting. But now we're in quick style, right? Quick style gives you double jumps. You cannot get this normally if, say, you picked hard style. Also, double jumps in this game give you a wild amount of air control. Not used to seeing that, so that's pretty cool. Quick style also improves your combo potential big time. So you can chain 3 lights together, you can chain 3 mediums together, you can chain 3 heavies together, and chain them all together in and of themselves. So 3 lights and the 3 mediums and the 3 heavies. As long as the range permits anyways, you can push them out depending on your character. Quick style also gives you access to dodge parries. Just tap forward right before the hit connects, and you will dodge in place and avoid the attack. Conversely, if you go hard style, instead it becomes a proper full-on parry, creates a lot of hit stop to just kind of turn the tables on the enemy. But also more stuff about hard style here. You can still chain light, medium, heavy, and you can still like link lights into itself and all that kind of stuff, but all the extra hits of quick style go out the window. You do not get those. You can chain 3 heavies together, that is it. So you lose out on some of the combo ability. However, you do gain new moves. Every character in the game gets a brand new command normal while in hard style, that is back and medium. Also, another big thing is your groove determines what supers you get. You actually have completely different supers whether or not you're in hard groove or in the quick groove. The one you just saw was the hard groove super, this is the quick groove super, so you get a lot of different options and utility, and there's still a lot more. Like we have the burst drive where you can burn meter to gain an install. The heavy mode is basically infinite hyper armor, you just tank everything till you run out of juice. Conversely, the quick mode buff is basically a speedster kind of deal. While it's up, you just move much faster and just go around turbo across the stage. And finally, what about Omnia style? That is the third style. Well, it's a weird little bit of a blend. So the big thing, the big weakness is it does not have any ability to do the previous installs we just showed. But it has much bigger bars. But the other styles, you can only have 2 bars maximum. This one you can have 4 bars maximum. Also, you get longer combos. The auto combos like mashing L, mashing M, mashing H, they actually have all an additional hit that doesn't exist in the quick style. So if you just want to mash, basically this groove is conducive towards mashing, I guess. Also, the other grooves, the quick style actually lowers your health a bit, heavy style increases your health just a little bit. This one's basically in the middle. The game doesn't have a proper in-game tutorial, although it does have a manual setup here, which exhaustively goes over every possible detail and aspect of the game. So if you're looking for information, it is there, absolutely, just not in the usual tutorial format. You're going to have to do some reading. Now, as for single player content, you have the usual arcade mode, survival, time attack, all that kind of stuff. And there's a seemingly fairly in-depth story mode. Every character has a story mode to go through. Some are from different versions of the game. The original Phantom Breaker Extra, this is Phantom Breaker Omnia, right? So if you want to go through all the older stories, they did put all the stories from the older games in this game. I haven't gone through every single story, but all the stories seem to be done in this like visual novel style of format, with characters talking to each other before the inevitable battles. Some are a little bit silly, some are a little bit more serious, some in between. I did notice that each character's story has a decent amount of length to it, and also seemingly branching paths as well. Or at least for the ones I completed, it seemed there was more options and I did not get every possible matchup / interaction I could have. Now, as for the overall plot, it's a little hard to suss out a little bit. They do give you a basic prologue, and maybe I'm missing some of the nuance, but basically people are pulled out from around the world / different realms, looking for basically the ultimate prize, and this guy called Phantom, I guess the Phantom of Phantom Breaker, is the one pulling all the strings, and apparently, at least going by some of the stories, a little bit of a monkey paw kind of deal that you might not get exactly what you wish for in the end. I feel like I don't have the full picture. I did not beat every single story, I'm sorry to say, but that's sort of what I'm getting out of it. The world, it seems interesting enough, even if maybe this kind of concept has sort of been done before. But if you are a fan of single player content, this game seems to have a fair amount of it. I'm known for being a sucker for fighting game lore myself, and I can't say I didn't enjoy my time. Overall, even though I didn't go through every story, I thought it was interesting enough what I did see. Now, as for online play, I can't speak too much. I had an early copy of the game, and frankly, I just couldn't get a match. I guess there wasn't too many early copies given out, and whenever I was trying to get a match, press and all that wasn't trying to get a match themselves. So, had issues there, and also a couple crashes, I'm not going to lie. But let's just get the big one out of the way. Is this game rollback netcode? No, it is not. It is unfortunately delay-based netcode. Now I know, and trust me, they know as well. The English language publishers of the game, they tried. They asked the Japanese developers, and they did a lot of extra work for the game. You know, they localized everything. They actually got a full-on English dub for every character in the game. That's, you know, that's some effort, right? But when it comes to just putting rollback in, basically it was a question of time and money, and it's time and money they didn't have. As far as I know, it's something they absolutely wanted to do, but just the numbers just didn't work out for it in the end. So if you can handle the delay-based nature of the game, then by all means. But if you're a rollback or no-deal kind of game, well, then it's kind of a no-deal kind of game. If you want to go through a bunch of story content, or if you have offline verses available to you, though, I do think it's pretty interesting. So other than the unfortunate reality of the online situation, I think the game's actually kind of interesting. It's certainly not like AAA budget Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 12, or nothing like that, right? But also neither is it a full price game. It actually is a budget price game. So if you're not looking to break the wallet, this game is cheaper than normal. Even if the characters, honestly and admittedly for myself, I find them a little bland, although I do think Office Lady with the kukris is kind of cool, and so is like the Imperial Japanese Navy Samurai lady, and Kurisu from Steins Gate's in the game as well, right? I do think the groove mechanic of having quick, hard, and Omnia styles, I think that is actually really cool. Each groove, regardless of which one you want to pick, they all wildly change how the game plays, how the character you play plays as well, because it'll give unique aspects to that character. I like seeing that a lot more than, say, like NRS style variations, as it's a lot more variety in the character, but you still keep a lot of your core base moveset. And for an anime fighting game, I think it plays pretty well. It's reasonably fast paced, and the overall game flow feels pretty alright to me. So those are my overall impressions on Phantom Breaker Omnia. If any of this sounded like it's your kind of bag, then maybe give it a check. You might find it pretty fun. And once again, new fighting games, they don't come around every day, right? So I celebrate any and all new fighting game releases. Anyways, my friends, that's it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Phantom Breaker.